Dear friends, in today's video we will tell you the story of how a goat gave birth to a human child. This is a story that will send shivers down your spine after hearing it. It is a strange and thought-provoking event, and we request you to watch this story till the end to learn the lesson it has to offer. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel. A midwife said, "Today I was surprised by the sight before me. A man was holding the goat close to him, and a crowd had gathered around the goat. I am the midwife of this village, and I have helped in the birth of most of the women here. Everyone trusted me deeply, but when the Maulvi came to me, I was shocked. He said, 'Amma, I need your help today.' I asked, 'Why do you need me? There's no way this could happen in your house because your wife is barren.' He said, 'No, I need you, but not for my wife. I need you for Bano.' I asked, 'Bano? Is she about to give birth? Please come quickly.' I went to see, thinking it wouldn't be that difficult. A goat was about to give birth. The Maulvi loved this goat dearly. Its name was Bano. He had a deep affection for it and took excellent care of it. In winters, he even made clothes for it. He had built a separate room for the goat. Everyone in the village knew that the Maulvi's heart belonged to this goat. He said, 'Ever since I brought the goat, my life has changed.' The goat was beautiful, long, white and tall. I had never seen such a goat. Because the Maulvi took such good care of it, the goat had grown so big. I went there and sat nearby. I knew my job wouldn't be difficult, but after a while, something happened that made me lose my balance. I said, 'What is going on? What's happening here?' The Maulvi was just as confused. He had no idea what to make of it. But when they investigated, what they found was even more shocking. The ground seemed to disappear beneath our feet. The Maulvi could never look anyone in the eye again after this, as the situation was so embarrassing. People often say that a mother can't be emotional, but sometimes even men have a strong desire for children. The Maulvi was one of them. The mother of his child had passed away, and now only his wife remained, who was infertile. She could never have children. She would often come to me for medicine because I was the only midwife in the village. I once told her that she should visit a city doctor for a checkup, but she said, "You know we're poor, and the Maulvi will never take me to the city for treatment." They had no money, and the situation continued like this. One day, the Maulvi came to me holding a little goat, which he had brought as though it had given birth to a child. He named it Bano and took care of it like his own child. Over time, the goat grew and even started giving milk. I was an old woman and had asked him to keep some milk for me. He did so, but today when I saw him, my heart ached. He was sitting there holding his head, looking as if something tragic had happened to his daughter or wife. When I woke up one morning, he knocked on my door and said, "My goat is about to give birth." I asked, "But your goat is alone." He said, "I don't know, Kala, but please come with me. I need your help." I thought it was something else at first, but I knew his wife couldn't bear children. She didn't even like him much, as it was an arranged marriage. She was a good woman, but over time she had stopped visiting and interacting with others because in this village, being infertile was seen as a great sin. I followed him, and we went to a room he had made for Bano. The goat seemed to be sick. I said, "This is not my job, but the animal doctor left the village, so let me help you a bit." I sat down with my hookah, not knowing what was about to happen. After a while, I heard a mysterious baby's cry. I was stunned. "Where is this coming from?" I wondered, but then I saw the goat Bano looking weak, and beside her there was a crying child. I checked Bano, and her belly was already smaller. I was shocked. "What's going on?" I thought. But the baby was lying there on the grass. I quickly picked him up and wrapped him in my cloth. When I came outside, I saw the Maulvi's wife and other villagers. They must have come for milk, but when they saw the baby, they were just as shocked as I was. One of the women asked, "Whose baby is this? Where did this child come from?" I replied, "I don't know. I was just checking on Bano, but I don't know where this child came from. Quickly, take care of it or it might fall ill." The Maulvi's wife quickly took the child and said she would take care of it. She hurried inside with the baby. When the Maulvi saw this, he asked, "How is Bano?" I replied, "She's okay, but things are worse than you can imagine." I told him, "Your goat gave birth to a child." He was stunned and asked, "What kind of child?" I said, "A human child has been born." The Maulvi was stunned. He asked, "What do you mean? A human child has been born?" I replied, "I woke you up for this, but it doesn't mean you can say whatever comes to your mind. If you're tired, go back to sleep, but how can you joke about this?" He immediately ran inside. I followed him. His wife had wrapped the child in cloth and was lying him down beside her. She asked another woman to go home and bring some milk and a feeder. This woman had just given birth to a child and was there to get milk. The baby was fine, calm after feeding. My sharp eyes could tell right away if there was something wrong with the child, but this one seemed fine. However, the peace in their house was about to end. The Maulvi sat down on the ground and began beating his head. He said, "Who is this guest and what has happened? I don't understand anything. Are you all playing a game with me?" We said, "What game are we playing with you? Tell us what this is all about. Your goat was with you all the time and you took care of it." He said, "I never imagined my goat would give birth, and when I thought it was about to, I thought a little lamb would be born, not a human child." Where did this child come from? His wife was acting strangely, handling the child with great care, silent and not speaking. We were all surprised. She should have been shocked, but she wasn't. We were thinking about how all of this had happened. She wasn't saying anything, even though it was clear that women who cannot have children often crave children of their own. But this woman had always said she didn't care for children. Now she was holding the child so protectively, as if she couldn't live without it. I said, "Why are you so silent?" "Speak up," she replied. "What should I say?" "What difference does it make if I speak or not? This goat was brought here, and we spent all day with it. I don't know whom to suspect." The Maulvi, picking up a glass nearby, threw it to the ground. He asked, "Are you suspecting me?" She replied, "No, I'm not suspecting you, but can you explain how all of this happened? This is against nature. If it happened this way, then it's a huge punishment for someone." The Maulvi then asked, "What should we do with this child?" Before I could say anything, Shama spoke up, "Let the child stay with me. Allah didn't bless us with children, but now we have one. I've explained this to you many times, and we've fought over it, but you never listened. Now this child is at our doorstep. We will raise it. A man can only be patient for so long, and when his patience runs out, he becomes silent." That's exactly what happened with the Maulvi. He went silent and left. Shama started crying. "Look, Amma, I've told him so many times. We've been married for 10 years, and I've seen other people's children grow up. He never took me to a doctor, never took me to the city. He never cared for me. He loved that goat more than me. I thought we could adopt someone else's child, but children like that are hard to find these days." Shama continued, "Amma, there's nothing wrong. My sister Nazia was blessed by Allah with 3 daughters and then 2 sons, all at once. She was ready to give us a child. Her husband worked hard, but how could they raise 5 children? But this Maulvi, your Maulvi Usman, refused, saying, 'We don't accept children from inferior bloodlines.' Look at what he said. Maybe this is Allah's way of showing him that this is the price for his arrogance. He never took me seriously, never took me for treatment, and never prayed for me. I told him we could have adopted a child, but he insulted me and turned me down at every turn. I even suggested adopting from an orphanage, but he ridiculed me. Then he sat down with that goat, saying it was his everything. And if I didn't care for it the right way, he would fight with me, threatening to divorce me. Now look where we are. The goat has become famous in the village, but not for good reasons. My curses have caught up with him. I asked Shama, "What happened to you?" She said, "What I wanted, I got. I don't care where the child came from or who its father is. I will raise this child and keep it with me." She left for her house. That evening, Maulvi Usman came to my house. He was troubled and said, "I have bad news." I asked, "What is it?" He said, "Bano has passed away. I just buried her." I expressed my sorrow and he broke down in tears. "My goat is gone," he said. "And now this strange event has happened. The whole village will know about this. What should I do? Should I leave?" But if I leave, what will happen to this child? I told him, the child is not to blame. Your wife will raise it and her time will pass too. You've spent half your life without children. Allah has probably sent this child this way. The Maulvi said, no, I can't leave this. I need to find out who did this. Who is responsible for this? Whoever did this, they will pay. The punishment for this is not our sin. We haven't committed any sin. And you remember, I went on the Tasbih recently. I came back just 2 days ago. Maulvi Usman began to think and said, yes, that's true. I went for Tasbih and just returned 2 days ago. I replied, I also have experience. This child isn't a 1 day old. It must be at least 4 to 5 days old. He began questioning the people in the neighborhood, asking if anyone had entered his house or had any interactions with the goats. He also spoke to people who had goats. They all gave him different answers, but he was determined to find out the truth about what had happened. Meanwhile, I was busy with my thoughts, but I was wrong in my assumptions. Looking at Shama, it seemed like she had given birth so quickly. The child was perfectly fine and healthy, but whose child was it? Could it be the same situation we had dismissed as impossible, only because we couldn't believe that such things could happen? But when nature becomes upset, it shows us things that leave a person astounded. These are ways nature expresses its anger, and humans often don't understand it. When people hear about such things, they dismiss them as lies or stories, but who knows what is possible? I heard of a woman who had given birth to a strange child. When people saw the baby, they screamed and ran away because the child was truly unlike any other. I was the one who had picked the baby up and placed it in the mother's arms. The mother's hands trembled and she cried bitterly. People said she had been punished for neglecting the person who had been with her in her bed, someone who had always treated her with harsh words and anger. The man had passed away in that bed. The child did not survive for long, but the woman certainly received her punishment. After that, she became a better person. She began to take care of her husband and help the villagers. Shama took great care of the child, and the baby was completely healthy, sleeping peacefully. I returned to my house, but then a woman came to call me. She said, Amma, it's Salima's daughter. She's very sick. Please come. I said, yes, I'll come. Many people came to me for help, so I usually went with them to assist. I figured that maybe a child was about to be born at Salima's house, which is why they called me. But I knew who it was because I knew Salima very well. She had a young, beautiful daughter, famous in the village for her beauty. Her name was probably Layla, and she was a lovely girl. When I entered the house, Layla was in a very bad condition, lying in bed with a high fever. I asked, what's going on? Her mother replied, she went to her uncle's house 4 days ago and returned since then. She locked herself in her room and hasn't eaten or drunk anything. Now her fever is so high that it won't go down. When I looked at Layla's face, I immediately realized something was wrong. I told everyone, please leave. Let me check her in private. I wanted to ask her something that shouldn't be discussed in front of everyone. After everyone left, I sat next to Layla and said, what's going on, my child? As I tried to check her, she pushed my hand away. She said, no, Amma, just save me. Go outside and tell them everything is fine. I asked, what happened? She said, look at me. What do you see? I looked at her and understood what was happening. I said, where is your child? She replied, I gave the child to Shama. I asked, who is Shama to you? She said, she is my childhood friend. I asked, who is the father of the child? Layla lowered her head and said, whoever the father was, I had no legitimate relationship with him. He was from the nearby factory, a very handsome man. He's been gone for 10 months now. I fell in love with him and only told Shama about it. She knew I was about to have a child. When I was about to give birth, I went to my uncle's house as an excuse. You know, my uncle is blind and it was easy to hide it from him. But then Shama said, come back. We'll take care of everything. When I came back to place the baby near Bano, you were sleeping with your hookah. Amma, you didn't even realize what happened. We did nothing to Bano, she continued. She fell sick on her own. Maybe she ate something wrong. But we took advantage of her illness and left the baby there. You fell asleep for a while, Amma. I woke up and I didn't know when I fell asleep and when I woke up. She began to plead with me. I've helped my friend and she helped me in return. Just go outside and say I have a fever and give me some medicine. Because what was meant to happen has already happened. I can't raise this child, but Shama can take good care of him. I was astonished. I didn't know whether to call it their foolishness or an example of their friendship. In their bad times, they helped each other. Maybe that's why Shama was saying, why should the child cry in the arms of his Kala? This was something she truly believed. I said, now what's done is done. I remained silent only because this innocent soul has found a mother, and your family's honor will remain intact. Otherwise, I would have told everyone everything. I went outside and told everyone, Layla is very sick. Please let her rest for a few days and she will get better. Don't ask any more questions. I also explained to Maulvi Usman, the child, however he came into this world, is now your child. You need to take care of him. Perhaps Allah has chosen you for this test, and you are part of this journey. Everything will be fine. I didn't mention Shama to him, but this was truly a strange situation. After the child came into their lives, Maulvi Usman's life seemed to improve. Wealth began flowing into his house, and now he carried the child in his arms, raised him, and loved him. Shama was also very happy. No one in the village knew about Layla's actions. Maybe it was fate that she ended up in this situation, but she had taken a huge step. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this unbelievable story?